This wasn't a spur of the moment. He was hired to commit a murder. He bludgeoned her to death. He sexually violated her with a mallet. And then there is some thought that she was even buried alive.
Euler was a retired school teacher and found
is accused of stabbing somebody in a Walmart parking lot. He is already out on bond for that crime.
What's happening with it? White Boy Radio back with another one, man. Florida story. Pretty wild, man. I'll pin the original story either in the description or the pinned comment. Make sure you check them out both. So this is crazy, man. I'm scrolling through and I find it. And originally seeing it, what I think is there's a guy who's done time before, and he gets into an altercation over a parking space. And what comes next is the dude does what he knows best and reaches for a pocket knife. That's initially what I thought. That's what happens, man. Inside a prison, I've said this a lot of times on the channel. It's strange, man. Dudes will fight all the time, but when it comes to using a knife, shank, razor blades, that also happens all the time. And they not only use it frequently, but get away with it. There's no additional time for that happening. You have to really, really do harm to somebody for them to give you an outside charge. And the reason that I'm saying this is because it becomes natural. It becomes just common for you not only to see this, but if you're listening to what I'm saying, why would it hold somebody back from doing that? They're not going to get in trouble. You can't do that on the street. You will go to jail or prison. But when you're already in those places, it happens so much, it's so regular that there's no punishment for it. It is what it is. Okay, so somebody who's incarcerated a long time, he may come out institutionalized and over an altercation do something like this. That's what I initially thought. Then I'm watching this and the sheriff goes and he's snapping. And he's going back into this guy's history. This dude is a real scumbag, man. A real scumbag. He was a hired hitman, and he ended up killing a 77-year-old teacher. Or she was an ex-teacher. She was 77 years old. Somebody hired this scumbag to kill her. And after he killed her, I can't understand the part. Check out the video. Apparently, they could not figure out if he tried to bury the body or not. That's up in air for the case here. But what he did do is sexually assault her with a mallet. That is disgusting, man. That is a real sicko piece of dirt. A real sick. He was sentenced to life. And here's the thing. There's no parole in Florida anymore. None. If you know somebody in prison in Florida here, 9 times out of 10 they don't have a shot at parole. It doesn't go like that anymore. You do 85% of your time here in the state of Florida. 85%. So off of 10 years, you're gonna do at the very minimum 8.5 years. There used to be the system here used to be 65%. Okay, 65. So off the same 10 years, on the same example, you're going to do 6.5. However, there's an opportunity for you to make parole after like 2 or 3. It used to be a lot more lenient here. It's very tough here. So when he got sentenced to life, he was able to make parole. Now, even though they make you do 85% now, if you were sentenced under the old guidelines of 65%, like this scumbag was, they legally, they can't alter that. They can't change that. And that's what happened. So the media here watch the video, I pinned it. They're reporting and they're wondering why he was able to bond out and this and that. There's no stopping the man. Look, he's a scumbag. He knows what he did. He knows what he's up against. He knows where he might go. Of course he's going to bond out. He don't want to go back there. Of course he is. You know, this is a disturbing video, but it gives me a very good opportunity to talk about some of the stuff you see or maybe hear with the politics nowadays. Look, I've been to prison. I changed my life. I've experienced all that. Some people say defund the police and this and that. Obviously, that's a stupid idea. But what else is stupid is prison reform. Okay? Changing things like cash bail. Okay? Jail prison reform is no good. I did a video on the nutbag in Waukesha where he took his SUV and just drilled into people around Christmas time. He was just like let go, violent past. Those types of things are set. Laws were changed for that to happen. That guy is a real something mentally wrong with him. He should be in jail with a very high bond. You know, it makes you think, man. Some of the stuff, man. Look, I should be pro. You would think I'm pro for these things because I've experienced it, this and that. I talk about the corruption and what have you, but at the end of the day, man, you do the crime, man. You do the time. It ain't no one else's fault, man. Nobody else's fault. You know, you see the media here, and I distinctly miss these type of things, man. Of course he's gonna bond out. Of course he's gonna bond out. You know, he did that horrendous stuff with the woman, and he got out. So his life sentence was converted. He ended up getting out, and he was out on the streets for 12 years without a speeding ticket. And evidently it took a Walmart of all places. Shout out to Walmart and the shirt. That's where I got this one at. But Walmart was what had him snap. It's a man yelling at another man. It had to be like a form of disrespect, if you ask me. That's just what my wild guess is here, because this dude was an inmate at one point, and respect is a big thing when you're on the inside. So however that happened, he probably felt like the man disrespected him, and he's used to a setting where if that's how he feels, he's just going to handle how he's going to handle it. Not saying it's right, but I'm just saying I could kind of understand the thinking of the institutionalized, if that makes sense. But these laws, man, we got to pay attention to them. This dude is a complete scumbag. I'm pretty sure whenever he goes back to court for this, he is going to get whatever's coming to him. And trust and believe, his past is going to be all up in the courtroom and the part of this case. Even though it's not, it is. They'll tell you they don't bring up your past. That is complete shenanigans. Yes, they do. In this case, they should. Because for the very simple fact that this judge, who is now seeing this guy years later, who knows how long he was sitting in prison, and then he gets out for 12 years. So now he's in front of a fresh judge. This judge, just like many of you and myself, never heard of this guy's name. We didn't know that he did that to a 77-year-old woman. This judge gets to look at all that and then be the person who dictates what's going to happen to him next. And another thing with this, with his past criminal record, his past charges, somebody hired this guy, this scumbag, to kill a 77-year-old woman who was a teacher in her community. Who would hire somebody to do that. What did the woman do? Nobody deserves it, but this is just all the way weird. Let me know in the comments, man, if you ever even heard about this. There's some sick people out there, man. There's some sick people out there. He probably went for a knife over disrespect, because when he was in prison, weekly and daily, dudes were taking him up through there, as they should, because of his horrendous charges. If you're still watching this video, thank your local inmate today, because somewhere in America, as you're watching this video, there's a dude incarcerated, beaten up, taking a chomo's food, a tray, just having a bad day and smacking the dog shit out of people like this dude and people that touch kids. It happens every day. So you should thank your local inmate today. Shout out to everyone behind the wall, man. On that one, man, I'm out, man. It's White Boy Radio on Twitter, on Getter. These people make me sick. Until the next one.
I care less about that attorney and whatever he feels and thinks about. That family has ignored phone calls. That girl used to live there.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe, bitches.